Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cybercore Skills course. In this video, we're going to be talking about cybersecurity qualifications and rating them from S to F tier based on a lot of different matrices. So moving forward, a really good point of resource for cybersecurity qualifications is the Paul Jeremy Cybersecurity Roadmap. This wall, if you is interactive, use a link as the source link below, which is also included in the comments. And basically, you can tell from top to bottom all the different levels of qualifications, and left to right all the different sort of areas of cybersecurity you can work in. And then clicking on them will take you directly to the provider, but also hovering over them, as you can see, will give you an estimated price at this time. It's kept up to date, so it's pretty good. And also, I like to reflect of what I've got on there and where I'm aiming for next. So just a quick overview of the qualifications that I've got at the minute. Uh, Plethora, and I'm going to be using these as part of the mapping as well, because I feel like I can give more of a overview, having accomplished and passed these certificates myself. So I'll go through S to F tier on these first, and then the last few slides will be, and the last few moments of the video will be adding in loads of different additional qualifications for the May 2024 audience. So what makes up this flowchart? So I've taken in factors of industry requirements. So this is the number of roles containing these certificates or qualifications as a requirement as part of Indeed. So the jobs board. So basically, if there's loads of job requirements for this one certification, it's going to go up higher in the ranks. So that's more of a quantifiable evidence. Practical experience. So does this qualification gain you real world knowledge, and can it be used in real life and real world? So is it less theory and more practical, or how much does it cover within real life? And also, a personal opinion, is it likelihood to land you a cybersecurity role? So it's not just my opinion; it's through discussions of other cybersecurity professionals, and I've accumulated all this into the F to S tier matrix. So just covering off what the model that we're using, it's the maturity model with all the different matrix we've already described. S is superior, A sits just below that, and then it goes through all the way to F using different matrix that we've already talked about. So what we're going to do is throw all the different certifications and qualifications on this due to those matrices that we're going to sort of take into account. So our first area is going to be your GRC, your governance risks and compliance qualifications. Initially, these are going to be mine. So we've got CISP, CISM, NIST certified practitioner, and ITIL. So we talk about CISP as being a mile wide and an inch deep, whereas it does expect you a lot within the 10 domains. CISM is a ISACA backed qualification. There are different variants so that you can have CISA, which is auditor, and your NIST certified practitioner basically conforms you to allow you to operate within understanding of NIST and its security requirements. ITIL is the IT library, which is effectively a foundation of knowledge about how to run service desks, change management, and all within that. So I'm going to just quickly map those qualifications to where they stand within real life audit. So I've put up CISP as a larger requirement. Indeed has got it as a part of a lot of boards. CISM, it sits A, and then ITIL and NIST working its way down. Obviously, sitting in D doesn't mean it's totally not off the board, but it's just a useful one that's not going to get you a job by itself, but can quite easily back one up. Qualifications for networking, CCNA being the backbone, and CompTIA N Plus being the vendor neutral CompTIA provided one. So having mapped that in, they sit B and D, I'd say. The CompTIA N Plus isn't going to land you a job, but it shows you're confident within that area. B being more or practical based and knowledge and applicable to more commands and the Cisco iOS, and being far broader now, considering that the older Cisco CCNA route and switching, security, VoIP have all been massaged into this. So it's a far larger beast. So that's why it's gone up the ranks. And you can ultimately gain a network engineer, a network administrator's position based off of that qualification. So we're working our way through. Next area is virtualization and cloud qualifications. So the ones that I've got: VMware Technical Associate, Azure, and AWS Cloud Practitioner. So I've put these together. As you can see, effectively the Azure and AWS fundamental levels aren't going to get you a job or land you an interview based on that, but it does show your expanded your knowledge within those areas. There are additional qualifications above that. So even within CCNA, what we're talking about level B, the CCNP above that, and I'd say that's a level A or S qualification. VMware, that's foundational as well, but there are architect solutions and other ones like that. And then you've got the Azure and Cloud Fundamentals, which have got their own pathways as well, which you can expand far wider on. So solutions architect, things like that. They're really good to get on as foundational. Not necessarily AWS and Azure. You don't have to, if you've been working in for a long time, you don't need to jump on those ones, but it's a good foundation. And it's a bit of a sales product awareness. So for Azure, you have to learn about the different services, the same as what AWS provides for the cloud infrastructure. So whether it's S3 buckets or blobs, what we talk about within Azure, and also the different instances and security features that we can use as part of that infrastructure. Cool. So moving forward, we've got our core cyber knowledge. I'd say we've got far spread there. There are other security qualifications available. We'll be talking that at the end. We'll be adding loads of other qualifications on, so stay tuned. So we've got CCNA CyberOps. We've got your SANS GCIH, so that's your instant handler, your CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst Plus, and your ISC Squared Cyber Security Competence certificate. So I've mapped those just to throw them in there. So we're working with from F all the way up. It's not the quality of the qualification for the ISC Squared. It's pretty good, covers a lot of different areas, but from that, you're not going to get a role in itself as a cybersecurity analyst. You're going to need other things to back it up. That's why you've got C, we've got Cybersecurity Analyst Plus. Potentially, you can land a role based on the knowledge from that. It's pretty meaty in itself, talking about the different CVSS scores and different models and things like that, and what to detect. We've got CyberOps Analyst with an E. Yet again, it's a move. Cisco have moved into other areas, and I feel that's a big move for them. It's a good qualification. Covers a lot of other a lot of topics that other security qualifications have. We're going to mention the big one of S Plus and fit that into the model towards the back end of the video. But this is just really me talking about what I've achieved, and so I can apply more to it. Then we've got GCIH is an A, because it's a SANS qualification. Obviously, really respectable level amount of qualifications that they provide. Really wide, really well developed. They're developed by cybersecurity consultants themselves, people in the industry and who work for SANS as an additional, but they're really well set out. So I would say, along with your SANS qualification, you're never going to go wrong. Going on to red teaming qualifications, Pen Test Plus, CompTIA. Then you've got your Certified Ethical Hacker from the EC Council, the TCM Cybersecurity Mentor, PMPT Practical Network Penetration Tester. Really good exam, 5 days. And you'll see when that comes to mapping in a sec where we place it. And then the EJPT, the E-Learning Junior Penetration Tester, which is actually now V2. They've evolved these qualifications, so both PMPT and EJPT V2 have been sort of generated into multi-purpose environments, so it's not a static environment you're working with anymore. PMPT is a little bit more in depth to what the EJPT does, but they're not comparable. EJPT is a stepping stone into PMPT, I'd say, but we'll see where we map them. So we've got EJPT at the bottom. It's not going to land you a job, but it does show you've got mass awareness and then leading into the market for red teaming and sort of that penetration testing and ethical hacking. CH I've put as middle of the ground, and then your Pen Test Plus just sits below that because your CH, your V11, V12 is coming out. We've got effectively a practical and version of that as well. If you achieve both, you get a CH Master. Within the UK currently employment industry, the requirement for CH isn't as large as you would think. Around the sort of India region, it's really big, or Asia's sort of Asia Pacific regions, but not so much within the UK. It is noted, but that's when you're seeing a lot of job advertisements for working internationally. It's more internationally renowned than some of the other qualifications. Um, PNPT, slightly above that, I'd say. Similar level of knowledge requirements, but it has got the 5-day practical network element, pen test, and then you deliver a written brief and a actual presentation. So it's actually job worthiness is really high scale. So it sits at a B. There are various qualifications that leads into, which we'll be talking about at the end, such as OSCP, your offensive cyber. So going in, the rest of the bulk, that the ones that I've not achieved yet, but the ones that I've been looking at during this sort of research period and looking at the Indeed Jobscape, some of these are the ones that I mentioned. So I'm going to talk about these. So we've got A plus, which is CompTIA and Linux plus. A plus is your baseline, stepping in it, almost your introduction. Sits with 2 exams. Loads about troubleshooting and understanding the hardware side of computing. Linux is all about the CLI and understanding the ARC sort of architecture of operating systems. Loads of technical knowledge within that. Your GCSEC, which is your SANS qualification, that's the baseline of cybersecurity knowledge. The beast of what we talk about is CompTIA Security Plus. It's one of the most respected qualifications on the market that we've currently got. A lot of jobs will talk about that as a baseline, and if you have that and along linked with another qualification, you're going to be stepping in a good place, especially as a cybersecurity analyst role. We've got the AWS certified solutions architect professional, which is the next step up from the AWS certified cloud practitioner, which I mentioned earlier. This is one that I'm aiming for next. Really well respected. And if you have that along with a few others, that'll get you a role within working within the AWS environment. I'm not excluding Azure or Google from that, but they do have their own sort of structures. Just AWS seem to be having redeveloped a lot of their certificates at the minute, and it's really quite a key one. Moving forward, so we're already going to talk about a couple of CREST qualifications. So there we've got the CREST certified security analyst. Along hand in hand with that goes the CREST certified penetration tester, the penetration tester registered, the CRT. Then we've got OSCP, which goes hand in hand, very similar levels. OSCP is a 24-hour, effectively ethical hackathon to see how many boxes or how many VMs and environments you can get root on. Loads of different spread out, obviously loads of resources to be used. They've got their own course, which is the Pen V2 at the minute. CCSK, moving on, that is ISACA. We've got the CCSK is Cloud Security Fundamentals and Acknowledgement and Awareness. So really big qualification. We've got next to that, we've got Agile Project Management, understanding Agile within a development world, or even modern industry is really big nowadays. So that's going to come up quite high up, I imagine, when we look at the mapping. Just underneath OSCP, we've got the sort of opposing factors. We've got certified blue team level 1. There is level 2. They're really practical, in depth, sort of 24-hour to 48-hour examinations. Really a bit of an unsung hero. Really good environment. That's one that I'm going to work towards in the future, just because you need to show broadness. Really keen in the red area, but also if you don't understand the blue side and the counteracting of what you're actually going to be seeing, so network analysis based on your scans, for example, you need to know both ends to be able to become a security sort of practitioner. And then talking about security practitioner, ISO 27001 certified auditor. So that's one way you're going to be auditing a company, to looking at their compliance and assessing it to ensure that they do get recognised in the ISO 27001 and do get awarded that with whatever technology and virtualization and management and identifiable management they've got. So that's all cool. So this is how it maps on the security side. We've got them all up there. So if we start top to bottom, your A plus is going to get you entry level. Maybe not get you a role, but it might get you a role on a help desk, but it is 2 exams, as we say, to certify within that area. We've got, moving further up, we've got CPSA, so your CREST certified security practitioner and analyst. That comes with the CRT, which is a bit further up. Blue teaming level 1, similar level, say D in that category. Linux Plus, moving higher, shows technical acumen within the Linux CLI and Linux environments and sort of that open source environment. Then further up, we've got Security Plus, your cloud and your project management and ISO 27001. On A as well, you've got your GCSec, which sits next to your, which is your SANS qualification with the blue ring around it, and OSCP and your solutions architect at the top. Sitting in many forums on Discord and sort of on boards. If you're generally going to go and get a role within red teaming, either your CRT or your OSCP recognised sort of levels, and then you can go up from there. You're not going to land a red teaming job without them, it seems, unless you prove yourself with various CVE launches and stuff. So that's what we're looking at. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, if you disagree or if you want to comment based on sort of some of my positionings, it is based on those three factors of the industrial, based on where they sit, on how many job postings require that qualification on Indeed, how realistic they are used in real life. So that's why ones like Cisco do score a little bit higher, but within a Cisco environment, and you might get other ones sitting slightly lower from there. And also my personal experience, because the ones that I've achieved are mapped first, and then we did the big bulk at the end of all the additionals like Security Plus, which is a big game changer if you were to get that. So hope you like the video. Let me know what you think.